Good morning. For the record, my name is Patsy Baker Blackshear, and I'm a member of Asbury United Methodist Church, but I'm also on the board of the Kunta Kinte-Alex Haley Foundation. And the two organizations are working together to sponsor something called the Asbury Legacy Project. And the Asbury Legacy Project, Ms. Randall, as you know, is designed for us to pick your brains. We want to capture all the knowledge we can about Asbury from those who have spent a lot of years here, and you're one of those persons who've spent a lot of years here at Asbury. So we are interested in finding out as much information as we can about Asbury, you, your life here, and all your experiences. So could we get started by you telling us, for the record, again, your name and age and address?
I'm Dorothy E. Randall. I'm 89 years old. I live at 916 Spa Road.
Okay, here in Annapolis.
Here in Annapolis.
Okay. And Miss Dorothy, how long have you been a member of Asbury?
Well, it might be surprising to you, but I haven't been a member of Asbury for a long period of time.
Oh, really?
That's right.
I thought you
I
grew
was-
up as a child in this church.
No, I didn't. I was born on a farm.
Okay,
Bywater was a farm.
okay.
They used to call it Harrison's Farm at that time. And the school, parole school, where I attended, was a mile and a half away. A mile and a half there, a mile and a half back. And as kids, I never went to Sunday school because my mother said that we had to go to school, walk that distance all week long.
Okay,
And Sunday we would rest.
okay.
So I didn't. I never got to Sunday school.
How long was
I
that
got
distance
late.
that you were walking?
A mile and a half there and a mile and a half back.
Okay, all right. So you never got to Sunday
Parole
school?
No, I
Okay.
didn't.
So when you started going to church services, where did you go?
I went to church services here.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
When did you start?
Okay.
Were you a teenager or an
I
adult?
might have been an adult.
Okay,
Might have been.
okay. So,
Bad time 'cause I'm old now.
well, we all get a little age on us. So were you a young adult at that time in the
Yes.
20s or 30s or
Yes.
earlier?
Was in the early 20s, I think.
Early 20s? Some of the things that were going on here. So this was your family church?
Yes.
So
Yes.
your
My mother was a member.
your mother was a member.
Uh-huh.
What about your grandparents? You remember? Were they members
Oh,
here?
yeah. Yes.
Mhm.
Not my aunt.
Okay.
But grandparent, I'm not sure. I guess she did. I'm not sure.
Mhm. But your
Because
aunt.
we lived in Bywater. She lived in town on Clay Street, and we didn't see each other that much.
Okay.
See.
Because of that
Grandmother,
distance.
Yes.
Okay.
And no car at that time.
Mhm.
See.
So you walked here?
Mm.
You
Yeah.
walked here?
It's 4 water. Then we got a car. We bought a car
Mhm.
around 1939,
Mhm.
I think.
So until 39, you were walking here.
Yes.
Who was the minister around that time? Can you remember?
Reverend Berry was the minister when I came.
Okay. So that's
He was here 23 years, you know.
okay.
He was supposed to know that.
Okay. So you can remember him?
Yeah, I can
Who are some of the other members of the church at that time that you can remember in your earliest memory
Okay.
going back?
can remember Reverend Hardesty, Mrs. Rachel Carter Smith.
Reverend Hardesty? Reverend Hardesty? Okay. All right.
Two Reverend Hardesty, him and his father.
Okay.
And, Reverend Young, Mr. Notice.
Mhm. Was Reverend Young the husband of Mrs. Josephine Young? No?
I don't think so.
Okay,
Like,
all right.
I was a kid, you know.
All
We
right.
didn't ask questions. When I was young, we didn't ask any questions. We
Okay.
just accepted the situation as it was,
Okay.
went along with it.
Okay.
But
All right.
they could have been related. I never gave that a thought.
Okay.
But
All right.
it-
So you remember most of the ministers?
Huh,
You
yes,
remember
I
most
do.
of the ministers?
Yes.
You remember Reverend Hutchins?
Oh, yeah, yeah, I
Mhm.
do.
Mhm.
We were so excited because we had a young minister.
Mhm.
The church was so excited.
Mhm. Was that your first young minister?
Yes, it was. Yes, it
Mhm.
was.
Mhm.
We had a lot of members at that time. he left, young people came disappointed. It was sad when he left here. He went to Washington.
Okay.
It disappointed, hurt our young people.
To another church?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What was the size of your congregation at that time, when you said you had a lot of members?
Well, it was 832 on board.
Mm-hmm.
The church held 832 people, if I'm not mistaken. Was fewer participating,
Mm-hmm.
but tithes and offering.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And all of these members who were coming were in the old sanctuary? At that
Yes.
time?
Yes.
So
at
it
that
was
time.
Crowded on Sunday.
Now I'm talking about Reverend Berry now.
Okay.
I'm not talking Reverend Hudson.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yes.
So it was crowded in the sanctuary then?
Yes. It was. It
Just
was.
just one service?
It was downstairs. Downstairs, and we had a balcony.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember the balcony.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Uh-huh. But it was full. Most of the members
It
who
was just about 4 years.
Mhm. And most of the members who were coming to the church, they were from the community?
Yes.
They were walking?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
So all around the community.
That's right.
So we were built as a community church.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we were built as a community church.
Then in the evening, I think we called it MYF now, but we called it another name at that time.
Mhm.
Sometimes we had 3 o'clock service and a 6 o'clock.
Oh, my
service.
goodness. So you
They
had,
stay in church all day. The young kids and things stay just about all day.
uh-huh, so this was,
Upward League, something like that they had.
they had what now?
Upward League.
Okay,
League.
okay,
I can't spell it.
okay,
League.
all right. So this was like a social center too then? So all the community activities were here
Exactly.
as well as church?
Exactly.
What was some of those community activities?
I was home. I had to go to school.
So your mom kept you at home, huh?
Yeah.
So over the years, what kind of ministries have you been involved in?
Just in the choir, I was. That's about all. I was late years. I was after I retired from the U.S. Naval Academy. I was custodian here for I think it was 22 years.
Oh my goodness, that's a long time.
It was a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun at times, and sometimes it wasn't too much fun.
Uh-huh. That's called work.
I did it. But I did the best that I could.
Mm-hmm.
It really wasn't good enough. Well, let me put it this way. When people would come to do what they had to do with their programs, with their programs, I would stop what I was doing to help them.
Mm-hmm.
And my work got behind.
Oh, okay.
But,
So you were a jack of all trades.
no, I was trying.
Just trying to help. It's warm
That's
today.
right. Just trying to help.
It's warm today.
Yes,
So-
it is. It is warm.
So you were in the choir. You served as the church custodian for years, and you worked. I know you work on the trustees. What other kinds of areas did you work on?
Right now, I'm cleaning the stove downstairs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you were a trustee member?
Yes,
Were you the first trustee member as a female?
I am.
Oh, so you've had other female trustee members? Who were some of the
I
other
forget.
trustee members that were female? Or male? Who were some of the older trustee members, period? I know the ones currently.
Mr. Howard. Mr. Archie Brown.
Okay.
You talking about recent or?
No, some of the ones years back.
My brother, Mr. Ennis, he was chairperson.
Okay,
He was chairperson of trustees.
okay. It's Harvey Ennis?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes.
Okay.
I can't remember their
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So most of the trustee members now are new to that position.
Not particularly. As time went by, things sort of slowed up a little bit. I don't want to say anything negative, but sometimes we had to keep people on for another time.
So they serve long periods.
Yes,
Mhm.
longer periods of time.
Mm-hmm.
They could have been unable to find somebody at that time.
Okay. So who are some of the trustee members that have served for long times, long periods
I
of
think
time?
Mr. Howard served for two or three terms.
Okay. Okay.
Mr. Archie Brown, I think he served for more than one term.
Okay.
And I said, I don't have that list with me.
All right. And so in the choir, did you participate in just one choir or multiple choirs?
Well, it was called senior choir at that time.
Okay.
We have changed it to sanctuary choir.
Okay.
And the choir that we would sing for funerals, combined choir. I
Okay.
sang in the combined choir.
Okay.
That was mostly for funerals.
Okay.
And my regular choir was, at this time, the sanctuary choir.
Okay.
Sanctuary choir.
So this is a little different than now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Things are a little different, the way the choirs function?
Not particularly.
Okay.
Not particularly.
Okay.
Combined choir, mostly sing for funerals.
Okay.
And the sanctuary choir is my regular, is my regular choir.
Okay.
We have, other choirs,
Mhm.
too.
Mhm.
But that was not function.
Okay.
That's why I would function.
Okay. So what would you say are the major changes that you've seen in Asbury over the years?
I have seen things change from the time that I was taught. I'm from the old school. My mother felt, she didn't feel bad at all that I couldn't make it to Sunday school. Because she figured what she taught would last me till I died.
Mm-hmm.
See, to be kind to people, to respect authority. And if somebody, if an elderly person asks you to do something for them, do it gracefully,
Mm-hmm.
with no pay of no kind.
Mm-hmm. So did your mother have Bible teachings at home? Mm-hmm.
No, it just came from her.
Mm-hmm.
She
Just,
taught
just
us
doing
to-
the right thing.
Yeah, that's right. Just doing the right thing.
Mhm.
Stand straight.
Mm-hmm.
Don't stoop.
Mm-hmm.
Stand straight, head high.
So you come from a large family?
Yes.
Okay.
It was nine. It was nine of us, sisters and brothers. But two, one brother, we couldn't understand why he didn't stay home.
Mm-hmm.
My father, he was my mother's son, and my father didn't treat him right, so he left. He
Mhm.
left. And my brother John died a baby.
Mm-hmm.
He did. But the rest of us, seven of us was left.
And you stayed in this area? Everybody stayed in
My
this?
sister Elma went to Pennsylvania with some people she used to work for.
Okay.
The rest of us stayed here.
And so the siblings that stayed, are they members of Asbury now?
Not now.
Uh-huh.
Now things went wrong. I mean, sometimes they would listen to different pastors, and I forget that pastor's name.
Asbury pastor?
No, it was a pastor that they used to listen to on TV.
Okay.
I can't think of his name now. He used to say if a pastor wasn't doing this or a pastor wasn't doing that, leave the church.
Mhm.
They don't think we were doing it.
So you had some of them that left?
This pastor said, yeah.
But they started off here at
Yes, he
Asbury?
did. Yes, he
Mhm.
did.
So you and your one brother are still here?
Right.
Mhm. Do you remember the transition from the old sanctuary to the new sanctuary? Do you remember when, how that went? When it occurred?
We started building the church. We bought Annapolis Utilities, I'm not sure of the date, but the cornerstone says 1976,
Okay,
but I'm not sure. It is saying when the building was finished, or when it was started. No, it had to be when the building was finished.
okay,
Right, they couldn't put up a stone.
okay.
So I remember some of it, not a whole lot,
Mhm.
but I do know that that building was purchased for us to build the church. What's his name? Mr. Chase begged Reverend Burry not to take down his home,
Okay,
and Reverend Burry said he wouldn't. Said
okay,
the church would go the other direction, and we did.
okay.
But later on, I think later on they took to his house anyway.
All right. So
Can't
you,
remember now what it was. It was this was next to the church, but trying to be.
you had the Henson property on one side, Carol Henson's property on one side of the church?
No, I don't think no.
Okay.
Not the utilities.
Okay, and not the
As far
utilities.
as I know, yeah.
What was on the other side of the church? That was Mr. Berry's?
I think I can't remember where that house stood,
Okay,
where Mr. Chase's house stood,
okay,
because it was the parking lot too.
all right.
But we was going to buy the parking lot, but the lady changed her, was talking to her friends, and I understand, and
Changed your mind?
she upped the price.
Oh, okay,
And
all right.
we had a set amount of money to spend.
So that determined how much property you could buy?
We didn't have one choice. That's the parking lot downstairs.
Okay.
Parking lot. See.
Okay,
And when she wanted about $15,000 more, well, it interfered with our plans
Mhm.
and what we were going to do, and how much money we were going to spend where.
mhm. So do you know how much we paid for the church? Or for the land? No?
No. Well, I know something about it because I used to be Miss Young's chauffeur.
Okay,
Well, we did borrow money out of New York, and later on, the Bank of New York wouldn't let us borrow any more money.
okay,
We had a 15-car parking lot across the street. I can almost show you where it is.
okay,
And they said that we would be able to purchase that lot for $1. But I think Reverend Hutchins, I don't think he believed. Well, I'm not sure. I'm not going to try to tell you what he believed. But when the Bank of New York denied us any more money, Reverend Hutchins and the committee sold the 15-car parking lot. So
to get the extra money?
to get the money, yeah, we had to have the building wasn't finished.
Okay,
We had to have it,
okay,
and then go back after the land that we sold at the 15-car parking lot. But after we got the money, after we sold the 15-car parking lot, we went to buy it back. Man, we don't know what you're talking about. You know how they do.
okay. So you
know,
couldn't buy it?
Had to do business, No,
Mm.
we couldn't buy it. It was
Mm.
gone. Somebody else had it.
So those must have been interesting times.
It was.
And
It was.
your membership was very high then?
Yes.
Very
it
high
was.
in membership? Okay.
We had a fine committee too.
Uh-huh. And it must have been quite a celebration when you moved over.
Yeah.
Yeah, big celebration.
Yeah.
So this church, Asbury, is called the Mother Church. It's called the Mother Church. Now, I'm interested in your opinion. Why do you think it's called the Mother Church?
Well, it is the largest of the black churches.
Mhm.
And if anything, if somebody died, and they figured they were gonna have a lot of people, this is what I'm thinking now.
Mhm.
Well, they would call us, and we would tell them yes, they could come here.
So we would be
do
the
favor,
we would
yeah.
be the site.
Yes, we would do
Mhm.
favors, and then they couldn't handle. We
Mhm.
figured we'd handle. it.
Mhm. And so people would look to us to help out in the community,
Yes.
other churches.
Right.
So we, in addition to being the oldest church, we had good relationship with all the
Yes,
other
we did.
churches.
Yes, we did.
Okay, very good. Do you remember when the church moved from African Methodist to United Methodist?
No, I don't remember that.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't know we were ever African Methodist.
Yeah, that's in the history of the church.
It is?
Yeah, yeah. You
Not really.
you
I'm not
busy
old
singing.
enough.
You busy singing and just doing your job, huh? Or you're not old enough. I understand. So
I don't
let's
remember
fast
that.
forward.
Okay.
Let's fast
Okay.
forward, and it's 100 years from now, and people are looking at this video of you talking about Asbury. What are some of the things you would want them to know?
I would want them to know that we were a loving body of people at one time. And a lot of nice things was taught here. A lot of nice things was done here. What is what I'd like for them to know? We had a fine committee for the building of the church. We had fine pastors. That's what I want them to know. We had fine pastors.
Mm-hmm,
They were crazy about us. They loved us so.
mm-hmm,
But we had gone crazy for them. You know? We had fine pastors who loved us
mm-hmm,
and taught us the best that they knew how.
mm-hmm,
Right?
mm-hmm,
But it was a fine, loving church. Everybody used to be on one accord.
mm-hmm,
That's the way that we were taught.
mm-hmm.
You see.
And you have a lot of members here now that you knew when you were in your early years in the church.
Not too many. A lot
Not too
has
many.
died. No.
Mm-hmm.
So many has died.
Mm-hmm.
It's a few.
Any names you can remember?
Any friends that has died? Good Lord, there's too many to mention.
Mm-hmm.
There's too many to mention.
Mm-hmm. Anybody in the church that you can think of, one or two people who really influenced your religious thinking, who really made a difference for
Miss
you?
Young, Miss Josephine Young.
Miss Josephine Young?
Yes. I used to watch, like I said, I was her chauffeur.
Uh-huh.
So I'd take her anywhere.
Uh-huh.
Anywhere. It make no difference. You want to pay me at all? No, I don't want to pay.
She didn't drive, huh?
Because I was taught.
Mhm.
I was taught you don't take nothing.
Mhm.
You do what people ask you to do.
Mhm.
Do it the best that you can, and that's what I did.
So she really made an impact on you.
Yes, she did. It was her devotion to duty.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I admired about her.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me not to say nothing negative. Wait a minute, let me see. She was treasurer for years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she took any pay.
Mm-hmm.
She used to sell flowers. If the flowers were bought here,
Mm-hmm.
she used to sell flowers and give that money to the church.
Mm-hmm.
She was a Sunday school. She was in charge of the Sunday school.
Mm-hmm.
We had almost 100 children. She'd stand on the steps, the front steps, every Sunday morning, wait for the bus to bring the children in.
Mm-hmm.
It was something to see. Really.
100 children.
We were out there with 95, 98, something like that, you
Mm.
know. But she kept, I'm not sure whether she was in charge of, I can't go with her name. She was putting the money in the envelopes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But she used to tell us to try God. She tried to give the people to give their tithes.
Mm-hmm.
Give their tithes. She said, just try.
Mm-hmm.
Try it one time.
That's a name I've heard of a lot. In fact, I remember Ms. Young when I first came here. Can you think of anybody else who really left an impression on you and helped you with your religious growth here at Asbury?
Well, everybody, see, we just about we were just about on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, I know you mean as time went by.
Mhm.
I understand what you're saying. But different pastors, I was going by too what the pastors was preaching and trying to do what they, asked us to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the sermons that
Mhm.
were preached.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what I went by too.
So that was the preaching here really made a
Yes.
difference for you.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
But
Can
the pastor now is a fine teacher, I tell you that. Pastor.
your first
Pastor
female
Allen.
your first
Yeah.
female pastor?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's a fine teacher
Yeah.
and a fine human being.
That's true.
She's
That's true. So, any last words you want to share with people about Asbury?
When you come, do the best that you can. Be kind and loving. Don't forget to pay your tithes. Accept responsibilities, please, and follow up on them,
Okay.
please.
Okay. Last question.
Okay.
Finish this sentence for me.
Okay.
All right. One thing I know for sure about Asbury is
She is a fine church,
wonderful.
fine, loving church.
Wonderful. I do thank you.
Quite.
It was wonderful
Like I
having
said,
you here to
I'm
share
old now.
share
See,
your memories.
Thank you. I'm old. My mind don't click like it used to.
But that's okay. We just wanted to have an opportunity to just be blessed by hearing from those of you who've been here for a while and could share with us what Asbury has been like for them and some of their memories.
Thank you.
It helps us. Thank you so much.
Thanks for choosing me, don't you?
Okay.